Okay, welcome back to Miss Tucker's science class. Today's going to be a really kind of short video. We're going to be talking about food chains, and then the next video is going to talk a little bit, and it's going to be a really short video too, about food webs. But we're going to talk about food chains today. A food chain shows where different organisms get their food. Food chains trace energy sources across different organisms. Remember, where does this all begin? Where is the source of all energy? The source of all energy is the sun. Okay? And what we're going to be talking today is a little bit more about what we learned in interdependency is different producers and consumers can draw out a food chain. Well, what exactly is a food chain? Well, we know what a chain is. A chain is something that, links together. Links together. Goes from one to another to another to another, and they're all hooked together. They're all kind of related. Well, what is a food chain? A food chain is that same linking, and we have to start from the beginning and then go down through and figure out which way does it go. We're going to learn a little bit about what that means. Okay, so the first thing, so the source of all energy is the sun. So I'm going to draw my sun. So here's my sun. And it's shining down. And we're going to start way down here. Going to give myself some room with some grass. Okay, so here's some grass. And you remember, a grass is a plant, and a plant is always what? A producer. And within those plants, something that they make their own energy. They make their own energy. How? Remember, it's another P word. By photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is when a plant makes their own energy. And they do that through photosynthesis, and that's through the sun. Okay, they can't do it without the sun. All right. So if we go from, we're going to make a food chain. So what eats grass? We're going to transfer. This is transferring our energy. That's with the arrow. Our energy is going to, and let's say it goes to a grasshopper. I'm not very good at making grasshoppers. Put his little legs out here, his little antennae, and then it's the legs. The legs is the hard part. And then they come down and go like this, and there's a leg on the other side. And what does he eat through his little mandible? He eats grass. Okay? So this grass is a producer. He eats or consumes the grass, so he is a consumer. He gets his energy from a producer. From the grasshopper, from a producer. Okay? So he eats the grass. Okay? And in his body, he makes energy, and that energy is now moved to the next thing in line, which is a cute little spider. So I'm going to make my little cutesy spider with his, how many legs? 8. He's not an insect, he's a spider. And he is going to eat, guess what? The little grasshopper. Little Mr. Grasshopper. He's eating, he is consuming Mr. Grasshopper. So we're pretending he is eating. He is a consumer. And he is eating another, he gets his energy from another, what? Not a producer, because a grasshopper is not a plant, from another consumer. From another consumer. Okay? All right, so we got the spider. Let's make sure when he's eating, we'll put a little X in his eye so we know that the little grasshopper is deceased. And then a bird, we're going to transfer that energy to Mr. Bird here. I'm not real good at birds here. Okay, he got his little legs. And what is little Mr. Bird eating? If in our food chain, the bird is eating Mr. what? Mr. Spider. So the bird is also a consumer. And what did we say the spider was? The spider is a consumer. So this consumer is getting the energy from where? Another consumer. Okay? And so the flow of energy, this is the flow of energy. The flow of energy went from the grass to the grasshopper to the spider to the bird. And then little Mr. Fox comes along. Not very good at foxes. And what does he do? He put a little foot there, get him a big bushy tail. There we go. He's happy. Because he's eating what? He's eating the bird. Okay, here. That looks more like a duck, but. And little Mr. Bird is dead, and he is consuming. He's eating the bird, so he is a consumer. And he is getting his energy from another consumer. Oh, left off the R. Consumer. Now, is this the only food chain we can have? No. We could have the grass, and then a cow eats the grass, and a human eats the cow, and then say a mountain lion eats the human. We are near we're at the top. We are considered an apex hunter, but sometimes even apex hunters get eaten by other apex hunters. Okay, so this is just one little sample of a food chain. We could have the grasshopper, and the grasshopper is eaten by the bird, and the bird is eaten by a wolf, and the wolf is eaten by a mountain lion. We could have grass growing, which is a producer, and a rabbit, and the rabbit is eaten by a hawk, and the hawk somehow gets eaten by a bigger hawk. And so it doesn't necessarily have to be just this example. This is just a really good one that it just kind of flows. You remember, this is the flow of what? The flow of energy. And we said that about 90% of the energy, 90% of the energy that they consume, whether you are grass or grasshopper or spider or bird or fox, is used for heating your body and movement. And only 10% goes through the chain. Okay? So the grasshopper eats the grass. 90% of what he consumes is for his own movement and his own heat, And when he is eaten by the spider is only getting 10% of that energy. Everybody see that? All right. So that's just a little lecture on food chains, and then we'll do a lecture on food webs. And remember, the source of all energy is the sun. The sun shines down on producers. They make their own energy. How? By photosynthesis. And then we follow the arrows through the flow of energy. All right.